Well, this is it, folks. Something that a lot of people consider to be the pinnacle of the X-Men franchise, not counting Logan, which I have not seen yet. But nonetheless, when it comes to the X-Men as a group, this is what a lot of people agree is the best. For better or for worse concerning what's to come after, but let's not talk about that right now. This is X-Men Days of Future Past. So, the X-Men were on the up and up. However, if there's one thing some fans had trouble with, it's the fact that while the X-Men were getting good, they realized that the old X-Men films with the cast that they come to grow and love had kinda aged a bit badly, for better or for worse. Like, comparing them to stuff like Spider-Man of the time, it really felt like they were afraid to be a proper superhero movie. So, here in Days of Future Past, let's finally
Released
bring
in
in that old
2014.
cast along with the new cast. I'm sorry, what was that, Dibs?
It released in 2014 because we always list these films off by year.
Uh-huh, and okay, here's something where we have to diversify on. We are watching the regular theatrical cut for this. And yes, it requires specification, because there exists another cut, the Rogue Cut. Now you think, the Rogue Cut? Well, squirm! That sounds like a director's cut. Yeah, about that. While the Rogue Cut is quite different, it's actually shorter than the original theatrical version. Wrap
I
your
haven't
head
seen
around
it yet,
that.
so I don't know what are the major differences.
The major differences is that they take out some scenes, some explanations are sort of cut down on, though from what I hear,
And
not to
guessing
the...
most of them involve the character Rogue, which just means she gets dropped even here.
Actually, no, from what I hear, it's to actually make the plot involving rescuing Rogue make sense here and there. I wish I'd gotten around to seeing the Rogue version, but I've just gotten to see clips of it here and there. So I'll do my best to try and bring up the differences here and there. So don't be surprised if I don't bring up differences as well, because I'm just focusing on what's going on with the movies. Don't worry, folks. To our fans out there, we promise eventually someday we will look at the Rogue Edition cut. Because it's best to give our good old character Rogue some love in here. I mean, considering how her own Lever Gambit is getting screwed over.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to be in it.
Alright then.
So anyways, start at the 20th Century Fox logo, or right before it, and let the merriment begin in 3, 2, 1, click. I guess you have
He's
a thing
gonna
against
take you
Rogue
back to the
Dwibs?
past
Yes.
to kill some giant robots but suck ass. I guess.
How about that? Anyway, Dwibs, are you not a fan of Rogue or something?
I think our commentaries of the original trilogy would have made that clear. I think.
Although, to be fair, I wouldn't say it's the
And
character.
nice little addition of the X-Men theme there at the end of the Fox logo.
Also,
and the
this use.
and the fading out of the X is back. Yay!
Uh-huh. But you know what we
Oh,
could
yeah,
use... Oh, go on.
Oh yeah, this film featured Bryan Singer returning to.
Yay!
Yeah, okay. Recent controversies notwithstanding.
It doesn't help that he would also make a movie that sucked later on, but we're not here to talk about that
Screenplay by
yet.
Simon Kinberg and story by Jane Goldman, Simon Kinberg, and Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, guys, a 20th Century Fox superhero production involving Simon Kinberg. Stop me if you heard that one before. You know, it's a shame Simon Kinberg couldn't have gone on to...
Like,
oh, goody, New York City. In
I
ruins
guess
again.
Not paying your taxes really did a number on you. Narration.
Are you talking about For the Dark World, which I believe came out around this time?
2099.
Wait, Dark World. Didn't For the Dark World come out around this time?
I think before this.
Wasn't it the same year, though?
An M.
No, For the Dark World was 2013, this was 2014.
Ah. So what is this, the House of M?
Yeah. What happened was, something happened.
Oh, wait, hold on. Obvious Terminator throwback.
Yeah. Pretty much a reference. But yeah, we saw that in the
film.
Yeah. We saw that a hint of it in the Stinger to the Wolverine. Someone or something was preparing to be a sort of a new evil for the X-Men. And if we saw, judging by this opening, they failed.
Also, hi, X.
For a second, I thought he was gonna, uncover Captain America's shield.
Wrong universe.
Hey, Rogue, is that you?
It's weird because
No.
Oh no,
the
that's
actual
not
Days
her.
of Future Past, the future. Well, it doesn't matter. She's dead.
So, also, since Bryan Singer's back, so's John Ottman's theme. Yay! My favourite one out of these films.
Nice.
I mean, considering it's a celebration of the past and the new of the X-Men, it kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah,
Also,
they
also, of course, we need to do the intro similar to the old movies, like with early 2000 style, with a lot of weird shit flying at your screen,
It's to
and you
show you.
understanding what's going on.
It's to say to you that we are the true children of the atom.
Of course.
P.S.
It's a shame we're
Capcom,
not-
please come back. We love you.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed the MCU haven't done intros like, well, this or a lot some other ones.
And we fade to
Moscow.
Moscow. Spasiba, tovarish.
And yet it somehow doesn't look more rundown than the apocalyptic New York.
You see, Java, this is the ultimate proof that communism is better. I guess in the end, the Cold War was just, false.
Well, if that's the case, I'd hate to see how England turned out, considering how they had both this and Brexit to deal
But
with.
what are we dropping?
I don't think it's bombs either. Oh shit.
Whoop.
Now you're playing with portals.
Yeah, they called them...
Hey, it's Ellen
Hey,
Page, hello.
Bishop!
Although here it looks a bit like Dr. Voodoo, Jova.
I know, he does, doesn't he?
So yeah, yes, in a surprising move, I mean, surprising to me considering that she was part of one of the worst aspects of The Last Stand. Ellen Page is back as Kitty Pryde.
Oh, you consider it one of the worst aspects?
Of not Kitty Pryde herself, the plot she was in.
Oh,
So,
right,
yeah.
the love triangle.
After that teaser in the beginning of X-Men 3, we're finally seeing one of the most recurring arch nemesis enemy type of the X-Men, the Sentinel robots.
One problem, though. They look nothing like the Sentinels.
Well, these are advanced models at the very least. I
It's
could excuse the movie for now, I guess.
for now, but yeah. It's kind of jarring seeing as how X-Men 3 The Last Stand actually had a good-looking
To see,
Sentinel
John, that they
robot.
were too close to
Yeah,
the
but Jova,
comic book version.
But Jova, what good was that if it was on screen for like 5 seconds?
It just makes me wish that we could have had those in this movie.
So yeah, Iceman finally showcasing some decent power.
Yeah, that's the thing. The heroes actually all get a good showing
Ooh.
here, which was something X-Men 3 The Last Stand had.
Or Colossus.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
But the Sentinels can do one other thing. Adapt.
Just die already!
No.
And repel their, the countering the powers of the X-Men. That's because they are robots specifically designed to capture and use hostile force against mutants.
That is actually a nice touch for the Sentinels, not gonna lie.
Oh dear. And here's something else. Kitty Pryde has the power to send people's minds back to their previous bodies so they can go back to the past and warn them about this attack.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that's a weird addition. Holy cow, they chopped off Iceman's head. Obviously frozen for censorship.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think this is
one,
Blink.
Logan,
And I
this
think
one,
that's
Logan,
Psylocke.
He'd have water coming out of his head.
I think the one with the mask is Warpath, while the other is Blink. Well, was Blink. Yeah, she's definitely Blink. I read the Exiles, so I know. I think it's a sort of wink at the Exiles, considering these two alternate versions of them were in love in that. Well, no, Warpath. What am I talking about? Warpath was in love with another character, not Blink. My bad.
Remind me, Tio, did Kitty Pryde... No, I don't think she had these powers in the comics.
I don't remember.
Actually, okay, that is one weird
Remember,
thing.
Joe, I wasn't too much into the X-Men.
This is one weird thing about this movie. Yeah, we have no idea where the hell Kitty Pryde got these powers from. It's...
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
not sure if that's really the most pressing issue at the moment, though.
Oh, well, Dwibs, it's not like I said it ruins the
Peekaboo?
movie. It's just a weird point. Oh, crap.
Coochie
I always
coochie.
found that really disturbing. Opening
about
up
it-
the face to...
Just because it's a robot doesn't mean it's not body horror.
Well. Okay, that was Days of Future Past. What are your final thoughts, guys?
Well, it's
Hold
a
on,
Marvel
hold on,
short,
hold
but
on.
it's probably the better
Hold on, guys.
one.
I think I missed something. Let's rewind back in time a bit.
Some snippets to see what happened.
Yeah, things...
Kinda got out of hand.
Yeah, someone fucked up and, now look at everything. You can probably count, like, at this point, you could probably count how many mutants are left on one hand.
And now let's go to China, which has some new Imperial
What's
guards on the
happening?
wall.
Of course.
Oh, hey, Storm! Thankfully not going with that stupid mohawk look she tends to have in the future.
Yeah, apparently she was supposed to do more in this movie, but Halle Berry became pregnant, so they had to rewrite a lot of it.
Yeah.
No, I think I've heard some things that she gets to do a bit more in the Rogue cut for some reason. I think some scenes may have been shot after the film was released. Who
Maybe she
knows?
was involved in the rescuing. Also Magneto.
Yay! For the first time in 8 years, the OC cast are back on screen together. Yay!
And the fandom rejoiced. They could finally be in a nice modern superhero movie that wasn't afraid to be a superhero movie with all the cool looks and everything.
Remind me a bit, Jova, since again I don't know too much about the X-Men in general. What are Bishop's mutant powers?
Bishop's powers tend to vary. What tends to be the most thing is, oh god, his.
I mean, I guess the technological thing.
He's a very good
It's
shot,
interesting
hence his
because-
bleaking eye.
Oh, wait, that was
Yes,
Forge.
It's funny because the year before this film came out, Ellen Page was in Beyond Two Souls.
Oh dear, poor Ellen. Oh god.
Yeah,
Basically,
Wolverine's like, what the fuck are you talking about,
All this
Bob?
time travel.
Don't go back
Just,
there.
just what I needed.
Logan is a means to an end.
I know, but you gotta admit, Professor, time travel never, ever ends well.
Well, it's not like we have any other choice, is it?
Basically, Teal, Bishop's mutant ability is that he's able to absorb all forms of radiation or conductive energy.
due to Bolivar Trask's, disdain for mutants and, high technological researches, and Mystique going a bit rampant on him, Trask and his successors were able to finally idealize the Sentinel program.
Now, here's a bit of a weird continuity thing. So they said that Mystique all these years back killed Trask. Here's the problem, though. Wouldn't this also have to count the events of X-Men The Last Stand?
Remember, Jov, if you're talking about her losing her mutant powers, at the end of the movie, Magneto starts regaining his, so it's not too much of a stretch to imagine she regained her too.
Oh, no. I get that. What I'm talking about is that they're talking about how Trask's death is what kicked this off, and Mystique getting captured. Here's the problem, though.
It took 50 years.
That's the problem.
You might have to find a way to escape by then.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, is the fact that apparently this movie is going to hint that this all happened back in the 60s or whatever time they're going to send Wolverine back to. Which is kind of weird, seeing as how humanity was growing to accept X-Men. So you're telling me that at some point, humanity just went, oh, screw mutants again after the 3 movies.
Do I need to remind you what type of comic universe this is?
Yeah, but it's a bit jarring. I mean, again, maybe if they were just clear with saying that, but there's also
Hey,
this...
you wanted it to be faithful to the comics, so there you go.
Remember, this thing...
That's a bit of an extreme.
This thing also happens again in Dark Phoenix about the humans turning their heads towards the mutants at the minimal sign.
But Tio, I think we've all established that Dark Phoenix
Charles
sucks.
Charles was gonna go, but as Kitty Pryde pointed out, while she's able to send people back within like up to a month, going back decades will probably put a strain on a guy's mind. Even
so of course the best candidate is Wolverine.
Old as Charles is. So they're gonna send Wolverine back, a guy who can mend, obviously. Oh, 1973.
Ah,
are we gonna see Life on Mars? British TV show reference.
I was a very different man because the writers decided to make me more rambunctious back then. Try not to be disturbed.
I had hair.
Yes, in hindsight...
A little bit of sadness. This is the last film Ian McKellen would play Magneto.
Unfortunately, as much as it's a shame because he's perfectly role, it kind of makes sense.
Oh boy.
Of course,
what is it not complicated with you?
The same year this film came out, Ian McKellen was in
The Hobbit.
The third Hobbit movie. So yeah, it started with him being in the middle of the mid.
Was a Mr. Holmes instead?
2016, I think. Let me check.
So...
2015, actually. 2015.
Oh, next after this.
So, no pressure, huh? So...
Yeah. Think of Australia.
Try not to think about a weird dude with a sawed-out mouth and laser eyes.
And try not to think about a fox with that silver and has its head chopped off. Or memory bullets either. Or your old brother. Well, then again, you seem to have forgotten about him well enough, even without the memory bullets. Wouldn't be the worst thing I've been through, Bob! Also, look at that! Wolverine has his metal claws back. How the fudge? I guess they just grew back over the claws.
Well, Tio said earlier, it's been like decades since that movie, so it's not impossible to believe that he got metal claws.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just want to know how, that's all. Well,
I mean, this movie's plot...
Logan, what are you doing?
Oh, look at that! What a shock! Logan wakes up in the arms of a woman.
But what woman?
Fun fact, he was supposed to be wearing boxers in this scene, but Hugh Jackman vetoed that bit for a rather interesting reason. Let me find
More
it on TV
authenticity?
tropes.
I have
Let me
no
find
idea who
TV
this one
tropes.
is.
I can safely say she is a woman.
Or maybe, well, I don't know, dude. We haven't seen below the belt. Maybe she's not a woman.
You know what would have been so fun if it was still like Jean Grey and he was still having the nightmares?
Oh,
Get out
God.
of my fucking head.
Hey,
Mind you,
Logan.
that kind of would have made the Wolverine a bit. Yeah.
Let me guess, he wanted exclusive. Yeah, we got a shot of his ass for the audience.
Let me see. So the Wag the director.
You know, Wolvie, you don't
What?
age anyway. Why do you
Hugh
care about your
Jackman.
appearance?
But don't you see,
Hugh
Tio? Back in the future, he was getting gray hairs somehow.
So anyway,
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman
yes, sir.
woke up nude saying, in Australia, if you're next to a really good-looking girl, you're not getting out with boxer shorts on or briefs or anything.
Hey, I
So,
can't fault you for
authenticity.
that. Excuse me? I think I saw this actor already.
Oh, of course, he was guarding the boss's daughter.
I burned them.
Terminator
Yeah,
reference. Considering he also has a metal exoskeleton, he's pretty much on the nose.
Actually, he doesn't have a metal exoskeleton right now.
You're right.
He kind of forgot about that, too.
Well, they are still kind of dangerous.
So, okay, so continuity-wise, I guess this was another time where he just left Victor off on the wayside.
Yeah. Well, after the Vietnam, well, I don't remember when the X-Force bootleg program happened.
Oh,
You know, that mission where Wolverine at the end quits definitely and leaves Victor behind.
it's... Did
When they
give
went
us...
to Africa to get the adamantium.
God, I don't recall if they gave us a date for that, Dwibs.
I'm gonna search.
Yeah, you go ahead. All right, now it's time for us to meet our first
The
proper scene
cabinet.
of Bolivar Trask, played here, of course, by Peter Dinklage. In this case, it was a case of what TV tropes called ability over appearance, where they might not necessarily look like the character, but they perform him so well enough that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I won't deny, Peter Dinklage is definitely a great Bolivar Trask.
That's what they used for, Heimdall in 4 as well.
X-Men Origins Wolverine doesn't really state the date of that mission in Africa, so I don't know.
The one time when they weren't clear. So, okay, so Peter Dinklage... Oh, wait, so let me get this straight. So after Bolivar Trask died, he got reincarnated as a giant off in outer space, who would then help Thor try and defeat Thanos.
Yeah, that's it.
I forgot, what year was Pixels instead? 2015?
2015.
So right after this, Peter decided to take a nosedive with his career.
You know, it's
He was
interesting
also
you
in
say-
Destiny, too.
Yeah, I know that.
It's interesting you say that, Jova, because while a lot of actors who starred in non-Marvel studio stuff would end up being in Marvel Studios stuff, and the non-thing they were in was considered bad, Peter Dinklage is probably that. Maybe I can't remember for sure. Maybe it's the only example where he came from a good non-MCU Marvel film.
Let me think.
Well, considering everyone else, there was Chris Evans, there was Michael B. Jordan.
Ouch. Yeah. It's funny. Both of those guys were the Human Torch. Okay, it is... Okay.
Saigon. Well, Ben Affleck went to be Batman. Colin Farrell, I don't think, has done anything for more superhero stuff. I don't remember the actress who played Elektra.
You know, despite what a lot of people say, Okay, I'll say this right now. I actually don't think Daredevil is a bad movie. Oh, it's an incredibly dated and flawed
It's
movie.
entertaining, but
yeah.
it still has a lot of problems, if you ask me.
I only
Absolutely.
really watch it for for the
Loser.
Kingpin, if I'm honest.
Let me guess, you watch it from Michael Clark Duncan and the guy who plays Bullseye?
Colin Farrell.
Oh, that's Colin
Yeah.
Farrell? Holy cow.
Yeah, he's super Irish.
Joe, but I have never recalled anyone who hasn't said they saw Daredevil just to see Michael Clark Duncan.
So look at that. A lot of these mutants are considered to be mutated by... Well, they think it's natural causes.
So yeah, this is the really, really late stage of the Vietnam War where all the soldiers were packing up to go home.
Mm-hmm. If you don't remember, First Class happened around the Cuba Missile Crisis. So
Wait,
60s.
Tio, this has to be before the X-Force and goes kaput because Stryker's in this movie.
Alright.
And he's younger. Yeah, this was before they officially made Wolverine Origins non-canon. Dwibs, when did they put for the official order? Was it 2015?
I can't recall for sure on that one, unfortunately.
I mean, okay, thank goodness they made Wolverine Origins uncanon, but until then, this was pretty much still canon with it, so god, that is confusing. That said, I won't put that necessarily as a mark against this film, but it's still jarring.
My god,
There's
Jennifer
X-Men
Garner has a
Origins.
terrible career.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
Yep, it was Mystique. Oh yeah. You thought he was an army general, but he was Jennifer Lawrence all along.
Whoa!
So, yeah, Mystique can do all that.
Wait,
Oh.
that means that's an interesting power. Yeah, him with the power to make people sick.
That's Vertigo's power.
Toad?
Also, that's Toad.
Wait. Toad, weren't you in a facility on...
And you were
whatever.
a child.
Oh god, thank god they made Wolverine Origins non-canon.
Best death ever.
The sick making mutant? What does he do? Does he play Origins Wolverine in their heads?
Havoc?
Yeah, I think it's him.
Alright, we are out of here.
Why is he helping Mystique?
Well, he's stuck. Well, he's kind of been doing stuff in Vietnam for a while. That's probably take anybody.
Fair enough.
Also, John Favreau was in the Daredevil movie. So.
Oh my god, who was he?
And in that case, he was pulling double. He was Matt Murdock's lawyer buddy.
Foggy Nelson.
Oh, wow. Huh, how interesting.
We're military, we're always yelling and blowing shit up.
That is something. I wonder how difficult that is for an actor, having to play a character playing a character.
Huh. Well, to be fair, he has to just act like himself, seeing as how that's her pretending to be him. Boy, Havoc, how does it feel to be on the other side of things?
Of a barricade.
Also, hey, Stryker. Also, my god, Stryker, you were quite younger back in the day. It's nice to see that you'll age up rapidly just in time for... Oh god, this is so confusing involving ADs. Yeah. Not even talking straight.
Maybe he just took the wrong drugs in the 70s.
I guess.
So it's back to the X-Mansion, but
it's looking a little less friendly. I mean, seriously, guys,
Yeah.
do you really think a private property is going to keep that school from getting trashed?
I mean, the gate's kind of open, so... I mean, look, he was able to get in.
I don't like the looks of this. It reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. Except I'm supposed to be the Beast in all this.
Isn't there a mutant whose power is to cut grass or something?
Loads
what?
of mutants can cut grass with their powers.
Like, I mean,
Hey!
they could use their powers to be a good gardener or something.
Oh, the school's been shut down for years.
I hope I'm not a parent. That's how I saw you.
Oh,
Don't provoke him.
you realize who you're talking to,
You don't.
dudes.
You won't like him when he's angry. Oh wait.
So yeah, the school is actually apparently closed. Trust me on that.
Yep.
Maybe
Real
that
good
punch.
friends.
Maybe that punch will remind you.
Also, Wolverine, uncool. You hit someone
didn't
with glasses.
We didn't remind him, but it did that. Whee!
Oh!
Whoa! Hugh Jackman across the room.
Ow. I thought you landed on a spike or something.
Thankfully not. Could this be?
It's
Whoa.
a miracle he can walk again.
And he looks like a bum.
Huh.
My feet are stuck to the floor.
It's you.
73, 80, 2023. So 4 years from now, the world's going to look like that.
Well,
Don't even think about. In fact, here's a better question. Why don't you recognize me? I literally told you to F off in a restaurant.
Well, Jeremy, he is kind of drunk and out of it.
True. So, I gotta wonder, in the original timeline, what the hell got Xavier to get off his drunk rear end and actually reopen that school?
I don't know.
Maybe Hank got fed up and quit, and that was the catalyst.
Maybe.
I mean, how else did he become a politician after that?
Perhaps. I won't complain about them not showing us how this led to the original timeline, because this is mainly about changing the timeline. Though I do think it is a bit of a missed opportunity that we didn't get a series of movies showcasing that stuff before doing this. But hey, you get with what you get. Oh.
Hello. We did that to save on the prosthetic budget. I mean, how much did this film cost?
Quite a lot, actually. It's 220 million, and it scored 747.9 million. So thankfully, it managed to be a success, but it was still very costly.
So let's see. So they took a financial gambit, but it paid off well.
Funny
So,
trouble.
yeah, a lot of the humans were killed. So basically, the worst of them were put in charge of the planet, and that's how it ended up turning into a giant shithole.
Yep, humans and mutants alike. Yes, that's right. I mean, to be fair, she just left me lying on the beach there. Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, if my own sister abandoned me for someone else after I'd been shot through the legs and paralyzed, I think her heart will belong to that person. Oh.
Hmm. Oh, you just didn't.
Oh, you remember him. Uh-oh. Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't say it like that exactly, but fuck off was how it was in the script. It's just Hugh Jackman said something else. And again, to be fair, Xavier is kind of out there, so
Yeah.
yeah.
God, maybe.
You see, sometimes looking at these movies do require context.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened to Charles exactly?
Hmm. All right. Oh, conscription.
Yep.
Ooh. So damn, all of his hopes and dreams were dashed after just 1 year.
During the very same war that cost him his legs.
I forgot, Joe. What president was
That was
there
the
when they
that
started?
wasn't Vietnam. That was the Cold War.
Well, the Vietnam is
Vietnam is
integral
part of
part
the Cold War.
War.
Here's the thing, Dwebs. The Cold War is a set of miniature wars that were not directly between America and Russia, but were between subsidiaries with which America and Russia participated with.
So yeah, Hank made a serum that can help control their mutations. But while Hank's been taking just enough to keep his mutation in check, Charles, being rather depressed right now, has taken so much that while he can walk, he doesn't have his powers.
Yeah, kind of weird. I guess not being able to walk is now part of his mutant powers, but I digress.
Footage.
Okay, one thing I do like is that, this actually shows that Xavier really is broken up about Mystique leaving, rather than First Class's ending suggesting that he was just fine with that, sending her off on her merry way. It's like, hell no, he is broken up about it.
Well, it's interesting, Jova, because, the previous film was directed and co-written by Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn co-wrote the story here. But Matthew Vaughn didn't direct this movie because he decided to do Kingsman: The Secret Service, which was also a Fox movie.
And it was awesome, from what I hear.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I've only seen the second Kingsman movie.
Sorry.
Maybe you and Eric can be BFFs again like you were in First Class. Oh boy, the Pentagon. What? That's right. In this version, Magneto apparently killed JFK.
You.
Well,
at least Jova. At least it's not the comedian. I guess.
Guys, you do remember a later scene, right?
Well,
yeah.
I'm just going off of what the movie is showing right now. I mean, yes, I know it's to come, but it's kind of an iffy thing when you get down to it. And even when we do get the explanation, it's kind of a bit hard to buy.
Hey, Logan knows a guy. Logan knows a guy that can help. They can't use Cerebro because Charles has no powers. But well, yeah, just use the phone book.
Thanks.
Sir, you seem to be acting a bit differently. You never compliment me like that.
I'm sorry. If this is Mystique saying that, why don't you have Trask suddenly like, dear, I am going to resign and retire. I'm leaving the place to you. Goodbye.
Anything too drastic would raise suspicion, and even then, it's not that easy to just say I resign.
Oh yeah, I know that. It's mainly just fun.
Aw, look at that.
She could do anything if she's disguised as Trask. Like, everyone,
What a megalomaniac.
Don't you see, though, guys? Trask cares for the little children and the poor disabled
while having a giant golden halo behind him.
Okay, so here's the thing. Mystique can apparently replicate other people's DNA.
Fingerprints.
Well, she can replicate people. It's not too far-fetched to say that.
Not just that. Not just that, also the other thing on that painting. Notice also the subtlety, the fact that Trask is not exactly tall, but in that picture he stands above taller than the kid on the chair.
Doesn't that seem familiar?
Oh no.
Yeah, here's the reason why some characters
Azazel
class
killed.
Here's the reason why some first-class characters aren't in this movie.
Pixie, Discount Pixie killed.
Yep.
Lots of off-screen deaths. Your favorite, Dweebs.
Boy.
Sir,
You never thank me, sir.
I've never seen you cry.
I just watched the final episodes of Game of Thrones and I just can't stand.
Aren't you on Game of Thrones, sir?
They don't pay me enough.
What is Game of Thrones?
You don't want to know.
This is the 1970s.
Also, Java, I did find another actor who was in a Marvel movie that went into the MCU. Idris Elba. He was in Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh yes,
Well,
that's right.
That came out the year after 4, though.
Ah, okay then.
Still, though, I mean, he went from 4 into that, but then back into the MCU.
Also, for some reason, Jason Isaacs.
She's such an assuming mom. What's he done this time?
Shouldn't it be Pietro? Also, there's a skid mark on there.
I wonder what caused that. So anyway, here we have Quicksilver, also known as Peter. Peter.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, has a very simple power, super speed.
Yes. Now, when the casting for this movie got announced around about the same time, the MCU cast their version of Quicksilver.
This is because specifically the characters of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver have a weird relationship that they could be used before the more recent acquisition, mind you, both from Fox and from Marvel. The catch is that if Marvel use them, they just simply cannot refer to them as mutants and instead create a more quote-unquote original backstory for them, which is what we did in Age of Ultron. Results, well, when we'll get to that movie, we'll see.
Let's just say waste of development.
Yeah,
let's just say get more affectionate to this version of Quicksilver.
But don't get too affectionate. But don't get too attached to
Age of Ultron. I won't spoil Age of Ultron, but I do prefer this Quicksilver more.
Although don't get too attached to him in Dark Phoenix.
Well, Apocalypse also, but he isn't.
Dave, let's just say Dark Phoenix is where he gets jobbed.
Also, for some reason, Jason Isaacs was in the Elektra movie. What the fuck?
Let me guess, he was the villain.
Uncredited role as DeMarco. I don't even remember who he is. It's been like years since I watched that piece of trash.
Yeah, cool, but it's disgusting. I'm surprised no one else has told him that.
Well, most people just find it cool.
Well, I think the bone claws are worse because, it's bone coming out of them.
And if that gets
Metal
broken,
kind of dilutes it a bit. Metal kind of dilutes the grossness a bit.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, time for infiltration.
This is the Mission Impossible movie Bryan Singer always wanted to make.
Was screaming at I forgot the company. Please let me do it.
Paramount.
Yeah, thank you. That's the launch for the military. I thought at least
that's the launch for
prisoners.
Oh, the prisoners. Okay, yeah. Makes sense then. Yeah. Oop,
stupid.
That's
hack.
rude.
Yeah, howdy.
Of course, duct tape fixes everything.
Ah, yes. Even back in the 70s.
I'm surprised he doesn't mumble.
Well, it's soundproof concrete.
Well, the door. So they don't get distracted by Sanford and Son, the American version of Steptoe and Son, a British sitcom. And from what I understand, it's one of the those American sitcoms that's actually a good adaptation of a British one.
Yeah, we have quite a few of those. So,
Last
even
time
for
we
this...
adapted an American one.
that would be interesting. I'm pleased to announce that there are no American adaptations of How, Honey, I'm Home, though.
Damn it.
Ugh, that would have been the best.
And here it is, Michael S. Bender once again playing Magneto.
Wow,
no,
they even have a special slot to drop him his meal.
Well, I think, yeah, in this case, this prison is made of glass instead of metal. Well,
Well,
plastic.
they said earlier there's glass, plastic, concrete.
Nothing metallic.
Mind the glass.
Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah. And yeah, Quicksilver's so quick he can do this
Vibrate.
with glass.
It's similar to the Flash also in the DC universe. Basically, the idea that because of the hyper acceleration, it generates a lot of vibrations that can be used as a weapon.
Basically, with enough vibrations, he could phase through something or do something like that.
The Flash goes to the point where using the right vibration frequency, it can even reach dimensions at will.
Back of my head, you fool!
Well, consider it your payment for getting out.
Okay, so I didn't pay your mom child support.
Hey, Mamma Mia,
Is that
come
an
on!
excuse to throw glass on me?
Well, Daddy, you never seem to call, so yeah.
Yeah, I know that much. And they do hint at that in this in a bit, actually, I think.
Quite interesting.
Wrong Whiplash!
Yeah, Whiplash, the movie. The Force of.
Whoa.
Also, have I mentioned that you're a much better Quicksilver than that cheap take that they had in X-Men The Last Stand?
And also, yeah, Quicksilver. He wears silver, obviously.
Silver hair.
I'm pretty confident that they went, at least either the actor or at least the writers, the actors, everything, went for inspiration when it comes to appearance and personality to Doc Brown from Return of the Future.
I killed the president.
Oh my god, you know what I just realized? Quicksilver here looks like the protagonist from The Quiet Man.
I don't see that.
Just with different color hair.
I can't remember if I made a reference like that in the FBCID. You know, Charles, you're a great mind, but you're a horrible liar.
Oof.
Seriously, child, why don't you just say we're with the Mutant Containment Unit, the MCU?
I swear, because that was the scene in Dark Phoenix, or one of them that was redone. You know, part of the reshoots.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was deliberate.
Oh.
I don't. Wait, which one?
No.
Wait. Oh God! Don't tell me I've done that.
Hello. Oh.
Oh, nice to see
At
you.
least you could say hello.
I guess he's still mad about the legs.
Well, not just the legs. There's all sorts.
My legs, my sister, my team.
My fashion set. Okay, that's my fault, but still.
All I have left is my hair. If I lose that, I'll go insane.
Oh.
Oh, look, plastic guns.
Yeah.
So, how come they never thought to replicate those for X-Men 1 if they've had them in custody before?
You can't exactly freeze the guns, so.
Okay,
And now time for the highlight of these
look
new
at that,
series of X-Men movies.
Look at that, plastic bullets too.
Yeah. Quicksilver, we see things from Quicksilver's perspective, which means that everything is super slowed down.
Also, we're going to see something that this Quicksilver could do, unlike the MCU one.
Oh.
Actually be competent with his powers.
Dodge a bullet and
Okay,
live?
That too. Not just dodge bullets for that.
Oop.
Not just dodge bullets either, Jova.
Ooh.
Interesting choice of song. Slow for fast.
Dissonant Serenity,
Nice
dude.
bit of, nice bit of dissonance.
Uh-huh. Whoop. Oh, God. He gave
Why a
him a...
wedgie?
Oh, that's just Looney Tunes.
Yeah, critiquing
Oop.
yourself.
So when you get down to it, Quicksilver is pretty much the game changer of any X-Men movie when you get down to
Which
it.
in turn, since this makes him way too OP, means that he has to be limited in some kind of way.
Or
Oh, yeah,
jobs,
I
like in Dark Phoenix, but we'll
almost-
get to that later.
Sorry. Yeah, oh, shit,
I almost forgot the bullets.
Yeah, that would have sucked if that hit.
You see MCU Quicksilver? Why didn't you just do that?
Oh!
There we are, folks. The main reason why this Quicksilver is better than the MCU, at least in my opinion.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah. I think a lot of people agree with you, Dribs. I mean, this Quicksilver...
If he just moved the bullets, then he would be dead, would he?
Sorry, Logan. Looks like we didn't need you for this one.
Well, he did knock out those other guards.
You know, I think...
see, Wolverine cares.
You know, I think I may take a liking to this one. You should totally keep him on the team.
Well, unfortunately, Logan, there's two reasons we can't.
Yeah, he's kind of OP, and also, I guess, he's got a family to look after.
He's got a family to look after, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, did we ever get to meet his sister?
A bit.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, the X-Men movies never bothered to have Scarlet Witch.
How weird. So let me get this straight.
We see a sister character.
So in the MCU, they barely use Quicksilver, but definitely ramp up the use of Scarlet Witch. But in this version, there's no Scarlet Witch, but plenty of, well, maybe not plenty, but a good portion of Quicksilver. Huh. What? Is it like... Oh my god. You know what this is like, guys? It's like Fox and Disney are divorced parents, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are the children taking custody of when you get down to it. Wanda gets taken by Disney, and Fox takes Quicksilver.
Of course, Logan is still, on his own planes.
Yeah. Being sent back in time for the head will do that to you. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, Xavier is addicted to legs. Yeah,
And
you know...
In the recent years, Charles has kind of lost all sympathy for Eric.
Kind of hard to blame him.
I thought we had something.
Logan's the calm one.
Oh, Banshee.
Off screen.
Damn, Michael Fassbender's acting is so good it causes a plane to topple over.
Guys, could we maybe have this argument on the ground?
Your tour de force is gonna kill us all.
Huh.
Well, I guess that's one way of saying what the hell here.
Ugh.
Wow. Okay, so both sides have something to call each other out on. Although, to be fair...
Isn't part of the X-Men series, there's a lot of grey areas.
Definitely.
True. One thing, though, that was sort of constant was the fact that Professor X has always been portrayed in a more lawful good, nature. These movies are one of the only few times where we see more gray to his side.
And then there's
the closest thing I can remember for him to do as a bad action was mind controlling Spider-Man in Secret Wars, the first event.
Hey guys, Wolvie's got his signature cigar.
Also, we're in Paris.
Oh yeah, there's that peace.
The peace treaty.
after the war in Vietnam.
And everyone is enjoying some coke and bitches.
Ah, yes, that's right. The Vietnamese are enjoying their victory against America since the Vietnam War was one of the few wars that we lost. Though, even they knew it was a small victory since in the long term, guess who won the Cold War?
Have you guys got the subtitles on for when they speak Vietnamese?
Unfortunately, no. The copy I could find did not have subs.
Basically, they were talking about how they won the war, but they got to make sure they don't drink too much.
Got a little
Also,
professional after all.
You spilled a drink of atomic blonde.
I speak Vietnamese. I'm an interpreter. I speak many tongues.
Hey.
Let me buy you another drink. Unless you're here with someone. I'm alone.
Oh boy, jackpot!
A bottle of Johnny Walker, please.
I actually don't know this one. Let me check what it's composed by.
So, guys, Mystique's trying to seduce another man. Shocker.
You going to the summit tomorrow? Pretty girl interested in politics. Looks can be deceiving.
When the Koopas are involved.
So, oh.
Baby.
Yeah. Johnny Walker Red Label. I think it's a whiskey.
As you wish.
Oh yeah, that's right. She can replicate clothes with her powers.
Okay, we're back once again to the point where people get horrified by Mystique's true appearance. God, I wish that were me, not JPG.
Are we having a staring contest now?
Yes.
Don't lie to yourself. You have a raging boner.
I guess she's just knocking him out. Kind of a shame that they killed off Banshee. I mean, I guess he died in war or something?
Not just that, Jova. The death of Azazel means that that's the reason why Nightcrawler is not in this continuity anymore.
Even though he shows up in Dark Phoenix. Okay,
Oops,
yeah. That...
Apocalypse, yeah.
Ooh, chess.
Get it? Because we play chess through the entire movies.
He's not in the mood for it, though.
Oh.
Will these two ever be friends again?
You don't look me in the eyes after we're done it.
We used to have something, Charles.
Is this a commercial now? Drink
Michael
malt whiskey.
Hey.
Michael Fassbender drinks whiskey. Oh, wait, he didn't try to kill the president?
Oh?
Ooh.
Okay.
Kennedy was a mutant.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to
Wow,
think
what was
about
his power?
this.
Yeah.
For the record, I don't remember if in the comics Kennedy was actually a mutant or not.
You know, this is like
the Marvel database.
This is like the series Grimm, which tries to suggest that Adolf Hitler was a werewolf Wesen.
Or in the original Blue Beetle run, where it said that Hitler was literally Satan.
Yeah, last time he saw Raven was the day he left to go to Dallas.
Interesting. But yeah, so it's a shame that they never really go into detail about JFK of all flipping people being a mutant. Like, what was his power?
Well, he's dead, so it mustn't have been a very good power.
Definitely wasn't. Oh god, imagine if his power was precognition.
There's this thing, I don't think we actually ever mentioned. Mutants with identical powers are extremely rare. Yes, you get some similar cases, like Emma Frost and Professor X having telepathic powers, but they function a different way.
Yeah, getting into people's heads ain't power.
It'll take a longer time, and the humans will actually like us for quite a bit of time. But no, they're definitely gonna kill us. You know, in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have set her on this path. Well, Magneto, sorry doesn't fix the future. You know, now that I think about it, it's kind of a shame they didn't send Wolverine back in time to the time of First Class. Heck, then he could have prevented Magneto swaying Mystique.
Well, mind you, there's bigger fish to fry. Either stop one person swaying another, or saving the whole planet.
Okay, the Marvel database here only has speculation, but it states that it is possible that the power of JFK was telepathic form of persuasion.
Huh! Wow. So it's suggesting that he may have used that to become president, eh?
Also, this brings me back also to the official labeling of the X-Men universe Earth, specifically Earth 10,005.
Of course. In typical Marvel fashion, they have a universe name even for this movie series. It's weird, though.
Yes.
So do they...
It is technically canon, it's just that Marvel probably doesn't have any particular use for it in terms of the comics.
Well, now that Disney own him again, maybe they'll reference it. So,
well, it's not like that, Jova. Even when it came to something like, say, the old Spider-Man movies, in something like Spider-Verse. Speaking of which, this bit was at the end as a trailer for at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2. You remember, Jova, in Spider-Verse, there are mentions to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the I forgot Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but they never show up in person.
So when you get down to it, maybe Spider-Verse 2, which is confirmed to be a thing, could have Tobey Maguire guest star. I mean, it's probably easier to have him voice than, show up.
Well, Jova, if the Arrowverse for DC is bringing back people from Smallville, I can believe anything.
Wait, Arrowverse is bringing back people from Smallville?
Yes.
Holy cow.
But it's a long topic for another day. For now...
Interesting. So it won't activate unless there's a mutant in the area. About that.
Someone is a mutant in this very room.
Plot twist. Trask is a mutant.
I was about to make that.
That would be hilarious. Oops. Nope.
Notice how he says it.
Oh, colorblind.
Yeah, I might as well start operating now.
Yeah. Surprised?
I don't know whether to say I'm scared or aroused.
You thought I was in the Hunger Games. Oh, wait, Hunger Games doesn't exist yet.
Are you in the Hunger Games? Honestly, it's hard to keep track of who's in the Hunger Games except for Maul.
Also, that little device that Trask had that can recognize a mutant is kind of similar in a story of the Fantastic Four. Oh, don't taste me, bro.
Hey!
Where Reed Richards invents on the spot a machine that can detect potential mutant genes, and you recognize that in a lot of senators in the room. Funny story. It's basically how Civil War should have ended before starting.
Logan, I wouldn't look at...
Oh yeah, Logan has some PTSD from looking at Stryker. Just a reminder that Wolverine... Oh, never mind, they're showing footage from X-Men too. Huh.
Well, that was Bryan Singer as well, so...
Besides, Joe, I'm pretty sure we don't want to remember X-Men Origins.
True. Probably a good point.
I distinctly remember in the credits of this movie, they say that there was footage used from X-Men Origins.
Maybe it's just that bit with him in the liquid there, and Bryan Singer just conveniently switches to footage of Stryker from X-Men 2 instead. Yeah, from what I've learned, Bryan Singer tends to be a bit stingy towards characters that aren't his own. See, apparently Bryan Singer was the one... Yeah, there is one controversy about this movie. It's that Bryan Singer kind of got rid of the characters that weren't his own, which is why they were killed off. screen. Yeah.
Cheater.
Oh!
Well, so why didn't he kill Beast then?
Well, that's because Beast is one of the actual classic X-Men, and
Oh,
well,
that's right. During all of this, Wolverine, the real Wolverine, the Wolverine from the future, is maintaining the conscience.
yep.
We're starting to lose it now because of the PTSD.
Yeah,
And,
at the worst possible time.
Magneto, let's not do anything drastic now.
well, plus she's shot, so she's, gonna be a bit of a disadvantage.
Please pose for Vanity Fair.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Oh, there! I think there was some footage from X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, good job we have Magneto here, but damn, Kitty Pryde's been hit.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, that's right. The bullet in her leg. Ow. So Magneto's actually going to take the most drastic option, and he's going to kill her. That's one way to save the future, I guess.
But Charles won't like that.
Of course he wouldn't.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I led you on this path.
Oh.
I must get you out.
Boy, the news are gonna have a field day with this.
Yeah.
They seem to be
Mutants
fighting each
attack
other in the
mutants.
fountain right now. The other one there is pummeling him right into the face there. Everyone,
Mutants
panic
attack
and run for your
mutants.
lives!
Also, trailer shots. Also, if mutants attacking mutants gets into the newspapers, I wonder if that would help or derail Trask's points here.
Probably make things worse in a sense. So look how savages they are.
Yeah, Trask's motivations for this film are that a lot of danger can come from the mutants if they're not careful.
When
Yeah.
in reality,
So
we just know he wants to be on
Oh,
top
no.
of everything.
Mm.
Oh dear.
Also, I swear Bryan Singer was one of the cameramen.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Ow, ow.
Aw, it's a shame she didn't warp into Stan Lee. That would have been the perfect time for a cameo.
Well, they were gonna have a Stanley cameo, but Stanley was doing a convention in Canada.
God, it's like anything Fox related just had bad luck with Stanley cameos, starting with.
They got him in Deadpool.
Okay, yeah, except for that. But yeah, X-Men wise, God, talk about bad luck missing out on Stan Lee cameos.
Poor Ellen Page.
Look at her having to hold his head together.
While being wounded herself. Wow. Oh, there's Bryan Singer.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, Brian.
What are you even putting your camera on, dude? The action's over there.
Yeah, Brian, you've already got cameras.
Well, this is awkward.
Parlay.
Hi.
Yes, roar for the audience, Hank. And walk on all fours while you're at it, too. Is it sad that even though she's just standing in this one room for the majority of this movie, she still has a better job here than in Beyond Two Souls?
Probably she's more comfortable.
I thought you were gonna say The Last Stand. Yeah, Skip Woods.
Yeah, the plan kind of went awry with the PTSD thing, Wolvie.
not just that, Magneto.
Well, hey, maybe this was a good diversion in the future. We prevented Mystique from killing Trask when she was originally going to. Oh boy, the president of the time.
Richard Mr. Longnose Nixon.
AKA Tricky Dick, as some people called him back in the day.
Also, lots of dogs.
Nixon was a
Yeah, this guy wasn't exactly good with relationships with other countries.
Nixon doing stuff off the record and having tape switched off.
And like most presidents, he had pets, of course. Nixon was a very, very, very smart and clever guy. A little too smart and clever for his own good. If there's one thing he was, it was paranoid, which led to stuff like the infamous Watergate scandal. Basically, he was going to get impeached, but he was smart enough to resign before it came to that. Would you believe that our current president is somehow even more unpopular than he is? Yes, 2 Nixons. The world can only take one.
Yeah.
Who's actually playing Richard Nixon in this movie? Let me check. Would be hilarious if it was the same one that did it in Watchmen.
Strictly off the books. You're... Of course, Nixon. You're quite familiar with that term now, aren't you?
Mark Camacho.
I've heard that name before.
Let me check. He was in The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
That's where I've heard of him.
Also, Punisher Warzone. Oof.
Wow, so yeah, I guess we can say he came from a bad Marvel movie into a good one, too.
Although that one was Lionsgate, the other Fox.
Jesus, Marvel's movies were really spread out back in the day.
So yeah, Trask, as we've established, in some of the points he's made, his intentions and his reasons for doing what he does are understandable. The mutants with certain powers can end up, being could do some rather dodgy stuff. It's just the way he's going about it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting gray morality until you remember scenes like in Trask's office where we see he's been doing stuff above board, or how he tends to have a bit of a megalomaniacal. Yeah, megalomaniacal stature.
Also, apparently Mark Camacho did some voice acting for lots of animations and a couple of video games too.
So here's a weird thing, though. What happened to Emma Frost?
Probably killed off screen too.
Well, yeah, Magneto said her name of the list of mutants that died.
Oh, did he? I must have missed that.
Yeah, he said Emma.
Yeah, again, Bryan Singer's a good director, but man, of all the ways to handle, characters that aren't your own, not that good. As for why Beast wasn't killed off, Beast was a fan favorite up to that point. Like, if he got rid of Beast, there would have been calls for his head. Especially considering a certain thing that the network did for the film, but we'll save that for the end.
Oop. Hello.
I guess
I could just push it out, right?
I guess you're not that happy to see me. Well, I guess we changed the future there. Sorry, Magneto. Mystique ain't gonna be that into you from now on. Granted, she was kind of pissed at you at the end of X-Men Free the Last Stand anyways, so I guess it all evens out.
I can push metal out of just right out of my throat.
I think she's using a non-metal thing.
I think it's a plastic pen.
Yeah, I think so. It's a plastic sharp bit.
But hey, at least he admits to his faults.
To surpass Metal Gear.
Nah, the films aren't that
Debatable. Now, then again, not necessarily convoluted in the bad thing. Okay, maybe it's convoluted in the bad thing. Sometimes depends on the movie, but I digress.
Don't lose your way.
That sounds like the name. That sounds like the name of a Charlie's Angels spin-off. Charles's Ravens. That's my point exactly.
Funny.
It's never enough.
We have to kill them all.
It's interesting. Whereas Raven just wants to kill one man, she's not that much into the violence. Magneto thinks we need to do something more.
Oh shit.
Now, Eric, let's not go crazy here.
Meanwhile,
Back at the mansion.
Oh.
he's starting to regain his powers.
Yeah,
What was
again.
the side effect of hearing voices.
So in order to retain his powers, he has to lose his legs.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, it's one of the long-running arcs of Xavier's life sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I tell you, if I had a nickel for the amount of times Xavier's gotten his legs back, only to then lose them not too long ago, I'd be a pretty rich man. So we gotta get you off your leg addiction. Like, look at this. It's literally an addiction.
I think they portray it as that in this movie.
Yeah.
You're better than this, Charles.
Charles, no.
You don't need your legs. You need your mind.
Oh, fuck it.
Yay, you did it.
Remember, kids, say no to drugs.
Even if they give you your legs back.
This is so backward.
I know, right? God, I'm going to have to get used to getting carried again, aren't I? Not a word.
Can I try some of this? No.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Let's do it.
There we are. The seat.
The X-wheelchair? Yes, that's called.
Oh boy, he got some of her DNA.
Which...
He can end up making those things faster.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. With Trask dead, they weren't exactly able to get the research up and going until, like, years later. With Trask alive, though...
His son. Yeah.
A reminder that Striker is not exactly Father of the Year.
I mean, never mind the fact that we literally had that back in the 60s, but until now, we are united as a species. Seriously, did everyone just forget First Class happened?
Exactly.
Oh!
Yeah. We will use those trucks to squish the mutants.
You know, in a sense, Trask doesn't necessarily hate mutants. If anything, he relishes them. But he doesn't like not being able to control them.
And so here we are, the Dyson robots. I mean, there were a lot of
Okay.
comparisons to Dyson Hoovers with these particular Sentinel designs.
Hey, it's the old
Set.
The original
Yeah.
trilogy Cerebro set. I'm gonna miss this set.
Wait, they
I mean, it's
don't.
been on screens for like 90. I mean, well, okay, they do have it in the next couple of main X-Men movies, but I'm gonna miss this set now that this continuity is over.
Although I doubt New Mutants was gonna have it anyway.
But this has been the set of the X-Men for an integral part of the X-Men film series for 19 years, and now it's gone.
Maybe they'll bring it back, just tweaked. It wouldn't really surprise me. I mean, let's not forget they were gonna bring the Oscorp building into the Avengers originally.
So yeah, he hasn't done this in a while, so he could be a bit rusty.
Professor, do you think the hair maybe interferes with your connection to Cerebro? Maybe you should think about cutting it.
No, he doesn't.
Just a little joke.
But oh,
It's like riding a bike. One that could kill me if I focus a little too much.
wow. Cerebro after so many years, and it's pretty grim.
It needed a bit of fine-tuning.
Oh.
Wow, that could have gone better.
Damn.
And all we had to do was cut his hair. Well, yeah, okay, that probably wouldn't have helped, but he's gonna have to wash it.
And needless to say, I've been drinking a lot. I've been on drugs. So my mind may not exactly be the most intact. Just one mistake after another. X-Men Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, even your own Origins film. Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. Whoop.
But Professor, by the time they made Dark Phoenix, it was pretty much over anyway.
Still, though, it's all my fault. At least that's what that damn movie says. Even though really that doesn't make any lick of sense.
Have you heard of the word Disney?
What is it? It sounds whimsical, but sounds like it has a sense of power behind it. Untapped power that may not be kept in check. They're going to buy us, aren't they?
Worse. Oh, no, wait, no, actually, they are going to buy us.
What could be worse? He's not lying, boy. Wolvie's had plenty of psychological damage. If anything, you going in might actually help fix things at this point.
I've seen many possible scenarios.
Hi, Jean. Oh! Hey, look at that! Scenes from the Wolverine. And scenes from X-Men 3. But, by God, man! I see X-Men Origins Wolverine in there! That's a suffering no one should have to go through.
Look at my days of future past.
Okay. Wait, shouldn't I be looking into your future?
Just look.
Alright.
Oh, hello.
It's funny that I'm playing the Brit and Dwibs is playing the faux American/Canadian.
He's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like this scene.
Oh yeah,
Seeing
absolutely.
Seeing past and present interact.
My God.
I have no hair.
But I get to be the captain of the Starship Enterprise, so I guess it's
Yeah,
not all
James
that bad.
McAvoy. Yeah, in the Blu-ray extras, James McAvoy said he was He says he was a huge fan of Patrick Stewart, so getting to act with him was
A
like a
dream
dream
come
come
honor.
true. My God. I've lost so much of my hair. Not bad when you think about it. Yes, humanity takes away our hair. I mean, to be fair, he loses his hair by Dark Phoenix, and to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd probably lose my hair by the events of that film. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, folks, I'm not a big fan of Dark Phoenix.
Well, yeah, you've mentioned that
We're
a lot.
close. Don't worry, Jova.
Besides, we've got this scene to concentrate on.
Yeah, it's a really good scene.
I kind of like the effect of that. There you go. The more he concentrates on things, the more in focus they appear.
I like little touches like that.
So POV1.
This is like the more inspirational example of a Patrick Stewart speech.
You know what this reminds me of? This is like a better version of that speech from Star Trek V with Needing Pain.
Footage.
Hey, look
Have
at
you
all
seen
those
Charles-
great times
have you
we had
seen-
with the school back in the original trilogy.
You're seeing Charles' speech, though. Shouldn't he be seeing him in Logan?
Wait,
That'll make it
hold
worse.
on, wait, hold on. But maybe that future doesn't exist yet.
Yeah. Don't think about Logan. Not in terms of movie quality, it's a great film, but the events in it, don't think about it. It'll make you worse.
When you get down to it, future screwed, kind of, with Logan.
It's like a better executed Terminator 3.
So it's like, yeah.
Train scene? No.
Yes. Of course, Fox could not get over the climax for train scenes.
Wee.
Like, seriously, they do love their train scenes. X-Men 1, this movie, Dark Phoenix. I forget if X-Men 2 had a train scene.
No.
Maybe Magneto just really hates trains.
I thought it was bridges he hates. Oh wait, maybe he hates trains and bridges.
Yeah. A bridge fell on my father, and a train killed my dog.
Yeah, you can't say a train killed your mother because, it was Kevin Bacon that killed your mother.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Since then, I could never watch Dirty Dancing again.
What's this?
Was it Dirty Dancing Kevin
Reprogramming.
Bacon? Wait, was it Dirty Dancing Kevin Bacon was in?
I don't
remember.
Let me check.
Not quite reprogramming, but it looks like he's adding new wiring to them. Meanwhile, back in the future / present.
Oh no, it was Footloose he was in. Sorry.
Oh God, Footloose. Hey Storm. Sorry you don't get to do much in this version of the movie, but you'll probably get to do more in the Rogue cut. Also, Bobby, where the hell is Rogue anyway?
Not to mention, Bobby, you have the ability of freeze things, so why don't you cauterize the wound?
As if the Sentinels being a ticking clock weren't enough. Now I got the ticking clock of Kitty Pryde losing blood.
Oh boy. Unfortunately, they need more time.
Panam, eh? Did Pan Am go out of business?
Oh, you know,
Oh,
Yes, but for the time being, it makes sense.
yes, I'm speaking through the mind of this old woman. And let's go kill a man. Kill Peter Dinklage before the finale of Game of Thrones comes
yeah.
about.
Like what he said. You'll just make more. You'll just create more like him if you kill him.
You know, I gotta imagine if random civilians going by are wondering, is this some pantomime going on between these people, completing each other's sentences?
Wait, what happened?
Wait, what was I doing?
But yeah, she can't. He can't get into her head because even though his guy's powers back, they're not fully back.
And even if he could, there's no telling if he'd actually want to. Join me, and together we can be the forces of good.
Mystique Homecoming.
Ah, kind of a shame knowing what's going to happen in Dark Phoenix regarding that.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. We know you don't like Dark Phoenix, Joe. But you
No,
said that,
I mean, that's not just me not liking
times.
Dark Phoenix, it's just, it's kind of awkward Mystique Homecoming, considering Dark Phoenix and all that.
But it was called Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It's funny because by the time of Dark Phoenix, Jennifer Lawrence wanted out of the X-Men franchise anyway.
But yeah, they know where she is.
Ever notice how a lot of films like to use the Pan Am flight to show when a movie takes place?
Star Trek.
Oh, well, speak of the devil.
Oh, it's classic series.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a time
Wow.
paradox would it have been if
Yeah.
they'd shown Next Generation
Guys,
glitz?
they have free TV channels and PBS. And also, Joe, that probably would have been too easy of a joke to make.
Yeah.
Besides, Joe, but this is 1973. Next Generation didn't exist yet.
Wouldn't that be a funny thought, though, that it turns out that in this history, people eventually took a liking to the X-Men so much in the 90s that they actually hired Xavier to be the role of Captain Picard and gave him prosthetics to make it appear that he could walk upright.
So, yeah, the Sentinels are pretty much done already, so...
Damn. Judgment Day is inevitable.
This is a better X-Men. This is a better Terminator 3 than
I thought it was Logan. That was a better Terminator for me.
oh, both of them.
Fair enough. Also, they're still showing that episode of Star Trek. I wonder what then this takes place. You know, it's funny though when you think about it. For as popular as the original series is, it sadly only lasted for 3 seasons.
Well, the ratings weren't very good.
How ironic. Was it the movies that were coming out in the 70s, or was that the 80s?
Late 70s, 1979.
Huh. It's funny because the actress who played Aurora originally wanted to quit, but Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself asked her to stay on because she was good representation for the changing times. Heck, it was historical that they had Kirk and Aurora kiss in one episode.
Oh boy, he's got the little 2 silver balls that like the ones he had in X-Men 2.
Hey, he's got his old hat. Well, at least he didn't kill him.
Oh. Onto the phone.
Oof.
Yeah, hell, and that's when he's covered like that, he probably does look a little bit of a younger Ian McKellen.
Sir, was it a good idea to keep the magnet-wielding mutants' suit within metallic doors? Oh, look, his first-class suit.
Okay, here's something. Apparently, reactions towards his first class suit were actually met with mocking laughter from audiences. So they changed it here.
Huh. Was it because it was too bright red?
Yeah. So, yeah, there you are. Sometimes being comic accurate doesn't translate well.
Which is weird because he was comic accurate enough in the original series, ironically enough.
Again, maybe it just works better in... Were you talking about the cartoon?
Eh?
Are you talking about the cartoon or the...
I'm talking about the original trilogy.
I guess it wasn't... I don't think it was too brightly coloured there, I think.
I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, I do wonder if maybe it's for me it's hard to judge because there was literally only one scene with that costume. So, didn't really leave that much of an impact on me. Should be interesting to see how they change it up for this movie though.
Don't worry, Charles. Everything will be alright.
You're just gonna be the equivalent of Martin Luther King Jr. for all mutants. No pressure.
You just have to believe.
Oh, and try to avoid getting killed. Because in some alternate timelines, your death pretty much causes the entire world to go to crap.
Ooh.
Speaking of crap. Oh, crap. Oh, shit.
And we are not moving anywhere anytime soon.
But don't worry. We have a metal guy on our side.
Might as well put into use.
Ian McKellen Magneto will save us.
Here's just hoping that these Sentinels aren't made of plastic like in the animated series when they wised up to Magneto's abilities.
Well, again, these ones can change and adapt.
So yeah, another interesting news.
They don't need the plastic.
Once again, the climax doesn't take place in a Vancouver forest.
You don't need to see our identification. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wolverine can walk through without it going off!
It's pretty funny. His reaction is like, oh, really?
He's so used to it. It's like, huh.
Oh, thank God. It's like a running gag in a series that died.
You know, it's actually funny because in the alternate comics, there's actually this thing that Wolverine manages to get through a metal detector despite having an adamantium skeleton and somehow not getting detected. The guy who asks him how he can do it basically gets this answer: I am a professional. I don't think it's ever answered how he actually does it. It's just he does it with the power of cool. Ah, there's Nixon. Even back when he was president, people were iffy on him. I mean, I won't say he didn't...
Applauding.
Oh, he even did the thing that Nixon does with the two fingers and all that.
So I guess the actor playing him does a good job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Nixon did do some good for the country. Heck, he made China one of our most friendly trading partners, and back then that was considered nearly impossible.
And then he went on to be shown up in an interview from a comedian.
Yeah.
A British comedian, for that matter.
Huh. Oh my god, he even has the whole mouth thing he's got going for him.
Our brand new Dyson Hoovers. The Sentinels.
Okay, let's get a controversy out of the way. These look nothing like the Sentinels, and this is back in the past, so this was a clear, perfect time for them to make them look like the classic Sentinels. Heck, people found it awesome when... People found it awesome when, they did it, so... In, X-Men Free the Last Stand.
Well, there were two things going against it, though. They were on screen for 10 seconds and they weren't even actually there.
Now, here's the thing. There are a gajillion different models of Sentinels, but I don't know if these are based on a particular one.
Magneto, you could just use a car,
You know what they say, either go big or go home. So here they're using another incarnation of his costume, also from the comics, interestingly enough.
It's red just like his one at the end of First Class, but the red's been a bit muted.
Yeah.
And also, he prefers to Who knew that baseball stadiums were a great method of transportation? Oh, up. Oh, well, that. Got her.
The man awkwardly posing.
Yeah. What's wrong with that guy going for his gun?
I don't know. Maybe he sees something we don't. Mommy? There's a baseball field.
Yeah, I know, dear. We live next to it.
No, look, up.
I'm drunk. Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh dear. Well, I guess these ones are made of metal.
Here's the thing. Magneto added a little modifications to them.
Yeah, he did that. Oh no, they're gonna hoover us up, we'll all be dead. Either that or they'll clean the grass.
So, is this a better Iron Man 2?
Okay, Jova, I checked. The Sentinels, particularly more the modern ones, looked take elements from Nimrod and Bastion. I don't see that.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. We worked in the era of cordless hoovers. If they fly far enough, maybe the plugs will come off.
Wait, Bill Murray? I swear, that guy looked like Bill Murray there.
Too thin, not fat enough.
Well, Tia, that's what digital editing is for. You'd be surprised the wonders it can do. Especially for de-aging technology. Eric! I just felt the need to shout out your name like that!
But hey, okay, Halle Berry does get to do something at least.
It's kind of a shame. Quite possibly the best X-Men movie, and poor Storm gets to do so little
Although,
in
to
it.
be fair, that's due to outside circumstances.
Yeah. It's just talk about bad luck for Halle Berry. I mean, again, she was cool as Storm.
Well, being pregnant,
Yeah.
it's a good thing, new life into the planet.
Oh yeah, I have no qualms with that.
Are you supposed to have a limp?
It looks like she's struggling still. So yeah, giving Bishop some power to absorb so that he can fire it back. And use it for his gun.
Teleport, yeah.
Alright, get in here. So that's the emergency
Bunker.
Atomic bunker.
No, don't you see? They're adapting the German movie Downfall, they're just changing characters.
And nationalities too, it would seem.
So, Dweebs, who's the fake line equivalent?
Mystique?
Suppose.
Sorry, I have enough bad publicity. Yeah, God.
One plane isn't gonna stop them.
Except for that one, maybe. Paul!
They are. If this is gonna be, so yeah. This was McKellen's last X-Men movie. I guess he gets to go out doing something.
Hell yeah! Goodbye, plane.
The plane was my favorite character.
It was there. It was consistent in character.
It didn't speak, but it didn't need to.
So funny how Magneto's doing all this, and yet somehow this all leads to that dystopian future still. I guess humanity decided, hey, you know those robots that Magneto took over? Let's do that again, but better.
And more subtle.
Oh.
All officers report in. A baseball stadium has fallen around the White House.
It's keeping us blocked out, dang it! It's the perfect defense! And, well, folks, get ready for the big pitch. It's Magneto versus the X-Men, bringing in the Sentinel team here now, trying to assassinate the president. I cannot believe what is about to go on here, folks.
Remember in 2013 where there were 2 movies about taking over the White House?
Really?
I think it was
Olympus Has Fallen and White
yeah,
House
Olympus
Down.
Has Fallen.
This is the secret third one.
So basically, Magneto's got the Sentinels kept to keep an eye on the outer borders while he deals with who's inside.
Meanwhile, Magneto helped deal with...
Oh. Done in by a bit of shrapnel. The irony.
He couldn't stop all of them.
Oh!
Storm, no!
No, Storm, you are literally our most powerful one!
Outside
just let it know that Catwoman was forever terrible!
Was Die Another Day worse, though?
I don't know. Wait, she was in that movie?
Yes.
Oh god, so she went from Catwoman to a Skip Woods script.
No, Die Another Day was a Bond film and it came out before Catwoman.
Bye, Bishop.
Oh, was Die Another Day good?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, even wounded Magneto, well, Michaela Magneto can still
He can put up a border. Thanks, Blink.
Come on, Colossus. Do your thing before you get recasted Deadpool.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, apparently Daniel Cudmore, who plays Colossus, was... I think they did approach him, but he couldn't reprise his role.
It's a part of the reason why people for quite a while didn't even really consider Deadpool as part of the X-Men universe, because there was literally nothing from the X-Men universe in there.
Which I literally don't understand. There was the X-Mansion and everything.
Yeah, the thing is, like, well, some people thought that it took place in an alternate X-Men sort of universe, because, you know, the different actors did not exactly help things.
I never understood that point. I mean, all it takes is a few things and blam.
Well, okay, usually Drib's a good way to establish continuity is to have consistency in the actors. Like, for as much as we throw slack at the Batman movies, they all have Michael Goff there to remind you that, yes, these are all in the same continuity, despite how tonally dissonant they can get from each other.
Because they make references constantly to other X-Men movies as well.
Also, they try no metal, so...
Well, to be fair, Dwibs, Deadpool makes references to everything, so... fourth wall breaking, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to piece together, though.
Oh yeah, nowadays it's not, now that they've explained it better, but back then, you know, it was kind of vague for the purpose. Hey, anyway, but look at here, guys. Wolverine,
so...
Wolverine can take on Magneto because he doesn't have adamantium. Oh yeah, that's right, there was an earlier scene where Magneto even says... Yeah, he'd wondered, I wonder if they were metal, talking about the claws. Oh.
But yeah, speaking of metal.
Man, poor Wolverine always somehow gets jobbed by Magneto one way or another, even when he doesn't have metal for his bones. Just mind the butt, dude. That's the X-Men's ass. Screw you! Oh my god, folks! Magneto has made an amazing pitch across what looks to be a humanoid Wolverine off into the lake across the air! My god, folks!
Well, people were saying that Wolverine was kind of taking over the spotlight a bit, so that's one way to deal with it.
Yeah. Now it's up to everyone in the current time.
Well, and Kitty Pride. Good, because she's still got a hold in there.
I sort of meant... Sorry, when I said current, I meant past. Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh, got him. Up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, again, remember what this bunker is made out of?
Yep.
Your nuclear bunker cannot keep you safe.
The irony.
It's like a lift. Oh, yeah, how symbolic. Nixon and the President of the United States badge getting run over. Did you seriously not remember why you imprisoned me in the Pentagon?
Well, would you believe that whoever keeps you under lock and key doesn't tell me much about this stuff?
You're a really shitty president. And you're all a really shitty cabinet. Now look at me, cameras.
Boy, Fox News is gonna have a field day with this.
I don't think Fox News existed back
then. Maybe this is an alternate universe where they did back in the day, sowing the seeds. And then they decided to make movies, and that's how they became a film studio.
Well, they were a film studio for decades. No, Colossus.
Oh. Ham.
You danged fool. Now you've created an even worse future, probably. Also, Dad, really?
Are the cameras on, by the way?
Yes.
I think so.
I was thinking it's Magneto, because, you know, what if he's saying this but no one hears him?
There you go.
It's like that scene in Person of Interest.
Hey,
where he thinks, where one of them thinks he's making a confession to the whole world about the machine, but turns out the cameras were never on.
Except maybe I'll just, you know, forget about that, and then we can eventually just make a peaceful place in Genosha.
Oh. Poor Blink.
This time killed for real now.
And now Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are airing their regrets.
You know, Charles, at least we didn't do Onslaught.
Yes, old friend. At least they didn't do Onslaught. Now we just have to hope Disney doesn't either.
That there's a nice little closure of stuff from the original trilogy. Them trying to make up for
all those lost time fighting. All right, Iceman, it's time for you to finally do something right.
But you did a snowboarding thing at the start.
I mean something right by the characters, dang it. What's this?
Nixon's doing something?
Nixon being brave? Okay, no, that has to be a fake.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, Nixon being brave and doing something for the good of the people without personal gain? Yeah, right. My God, this may actually be the best publicity I'll ever get, and I'm not even doing it.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute.
Whoop.
Oh.
Psych.
Ow.
Dude,
Everyone grab the guns, quickly!
Mystique just flipping saved the day. She wasn't aiming to kill.
Oof.
True that, and who knows, by the 90s we could get people to actually love us.
Even in The Last Stand, although that's not happened yet, technically. Because I'm stuck under a pile of rubble, I can't do anything. And so Iceman dies for a second time in this movie. What will she do? But she's got to do it quickly before...
Yeah.
Hurry, damn it! Uh-oh. Come on, hurry. The future of this franchise could depend on it. Well, and then when the gun hits the ground, it goes off and shoots him anyway.
That would be just, cheeky.
Oh. And so, with that, X-Men Origins Wolverine is the canon.
Yeah.
You got a good future.
In movies that don't have the word X-Men in it. From the future, again, in the future.
Yeah.
It's very half and half. Oh, damn it, Charles.
Just one more time, old friend.
I don't want to.
Well, I didn't want my legs crushed today, but we can get what we want, as you can see.
Can I please have my helmet back?
No.
We'll meet again in 2 years' time.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe eventually we can be friends again.
Not to worry, I will bring my new stadium with me. Oh wait, no.
All right, Charles, I'll join you again. On one condition, though. I want you to call the X-Woman no. All right, fine. Oh, hi, Beast.
I don't want to wear this makeup anymore.
I love how they act like she's not gonna come back, even though we later find out that she comes back, so...
Yeah.
Right.
Logan will be in another Wolverine movie. And it's widely considered the best one.
Of the entire franchise.
even of the superhero genre in general, or comic book genre.
Oh my god, I'm not waking up in throbbing pain for once.
No, again.
Have I got a woman next to me? Oh.
Is it Jean again?
No women. Golden oldies. Could this be
What a weird reference.
future?
I finally won an Oscar. I thought this was going for the Harry Potter. I thought John Ottman was trying to do the Harry Potter thing for a second there. Wow.
Look at that! Wolverine has his gray strand of hair again, so he's actually aging now. Funny, I thought he was supposed to be immortal. And hey,
good,
Bobby's
nice,
back with Rogue! Hi, Rogue! I guess you have your powers back.
Hey, Kitty Pryde's a teacher now.
I guess she's gonna have that little thing with Colossus where they get married. Oh wait, no, they can't because Marvel wouldn't allow that. And here's the big surprise. Kelsey Grammer is back as Beast.
In a cameo.
Funny, I thought Beast was joining the Politico Corporation. What's he doing back here at the mansion, I wonder?
Maybe he's just visiting. Politicians can't do that.
Dark Phoenix.
Hey, if the MCU could bring back J.K. Simmons, why don't they bring back Kelsey Grammer?
That would be awesome. I will definitely hold Kelsey Grammer to me as the definitive Beast.
Even though, unfortunately, he's only been in one little bit of a movie.
Yeah.
Also, how old is he now?
Quite I mean, hell.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Jean.
He could only do this cameo because I think he was doing it after Transformers Age of Extinction wrapped up filming.
So I guess in this alternate future, the Phoenix got taken care of. Oh, wait, no. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back too.
So yeah, they got back Famke Janssen and James Marsden.
Still with a broomstick up his ass.
Well, again, he is kind of weirded out. Logan wouldn't touch him like that.
And I guess Jean and Scott are an item again.
Well, however, if in terms of seeing the last of these actors playing these characters, I'd much rather it be this scene than the last time they were together.
Yeah, definitely. At least Jean doesn't kill Cyclops in a rage this time, I think.
And there's a lot of finality of this scene, even though these two actors would be in another movie.
Oh, Wolverine has a history class to teach of all things.
Well, considering how long he's lived.
Remember in X-Men 3? Oh no, he said art teacher. Yeah. My bad.
Everything after 1973.
Welcome back, old friend.
Hey, Professor Xavier knows about that. But then again, if the what's her name from Doctor Strange can remember stuff when she was in Avengers Endgame, then there's nothing really more far-fetched about this, really.
So, Professor, what happened while I was catatonic? 2 very horrible movies. Never mind. Well, let's see. We went up against the X-Men equivalent of Thanos, and then Jean went a little crazy. You may remember that, but it was a bit different this time. It involved aliens.
And Jessica Chastain.
Yes.
So in this case, that's how Stryker got Wolverine.
Yep.
Got him from the city. He went fishing. Newton saves president and cabinet.
Yay!
Trask arrested for selling military secrets.
So there you go. Trask got his comeuppance after all.
that rape face.
Take him to Alkali Lake. Yeah.
Whoop!
Yeah.
So, are we to
Striker,
assume
that
that
was
Mystique put him through the adamantium procedure since he has metal claws, from what I hear later on?
She remembered you were supposed to have them, so.
But yeah, I guess thanks to Mystique, Logan can now have a better future too.
That's a sentence I never thought I'd ever hear anyone say.
I know, right?
So that
Remind me, do they?
X-Men.
Sorry, go on.
That was X-Men Days of Future Past.
Whew! What a movie!
I think there's a mid-credit scene.
I think there's an end credit scene.
Of course there is. Let me double check.
Okay, I'll be creeping from thoughts, man. Yeah, it's nice. I technically prefer a bit more first class, but this one is definitely what the franchise needed, so I fully welcome it. I have no major complaints. Maybe the Sentinel's design, but that's more their nitpicking. Next.
Flips?
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I really do enjoy this movie. Like Tio said, I mean, the series was starting to recover at the beginning of the 2010s, but it just needed a little bit more, something else. It needed something more, grandiose. I mean, bringing back the original cast certainly helped, and it helped prop up the new cast in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Even having both Professor X's interact was a pretty good twist as well. Although I was a little bit disappointed personally that Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender didn't get to interact. Although I guess it would have made sense in the plot. So.
Mm-hmm.
Alas.
Yeah, well. Yeah, as a post-credit scene after this, so we'll have to talk through the credits.
Yeah.
So yeah, acting wise, is all pretty solid all around, especially from the new cast, because they were younger. Although the older cast do put in a big effort too, and again, it is nice. Character wise, it's nice to say that certain renditions, the actors playing the characters, their last scenes weren't in The Last Stand, so the last scenes were in this movie.
Huh. I mean,
What about the score?
Better way to end, I guess.
The score, again, I like the John Ottman X-Men theme's my favorite one out of these movies, so it's nice to hear it come back again. And the score itself perfectly fits the movie and the tone is going for, and since he's the editor as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I don't think has there been anyone else known in Hollywood for being both a composer and an editor?
I guess plenty of people. I mean, to be fair, a lot of composers need to know good editing skills often when they cobble together their own tunes.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of them don't actually do the editing of the whole movie.
Depends. I'm sure there are plenty out there.
So I guess John Ottman's the most well-known one, I guess.
Bias! Watch there be plenty of comments in the chat telling us all those people who can do both.
Yeah. And again, everything else. And then again, one positive thing about this, another positive thing about this movie is that thanks to the cosmic retcons, it helped to feasibly pave the way for what we'll be seeing in the future. One of which is the next film that we'll be doing, but I'll go more in detail on that when Jover's given his final thought. So yeah, overall great movie. I enjoy it a lot.
Coming back to this movie was interesting. Continuity-wise, oh boy, is it a bit of a mess. But looking aside from that, it's a pretty well thought out story here and there. I'm not quite sure if I'd call it my favorite X-Men movie nowadays, though, having come back to it. It does have a few things that take it down a notch here and there. Like, the whole motivations of certain characters feel a bit iffy here and there. And unfortunately, there's kind of the bitterness of off-screen deaths, because the director didn't care for characters that weren't his own. The main reason Beast didn't get killed off was because, heck, they brought Kelsey Grammer, actually flew him in secret, just for that cameo.
Private jet even.
Yeah. Oh, goody, post-credits time.
Oh no, the deserts.
In ancient Egypt, it's evil again!
A tease to what's to come.
Some people seem to be praising something or someone.
Something, an ancient evil arises.
Oh boy.
Hey, this isn't Oscar Isaac.
Dibs, I don't know what you're talking about. It was totally Josh Brolin the entire time.
An evil that can bring the apocalypse onto the world.
Oh boy.
The oldest, most ancient mutant on the face of the planet.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, a bunch of horses.
But that is for another time.
Yeah, that's not till next time. Anyway, continue your thought.
Yeah, it's a very, very good movie. Again, maybe it's not as good as First Class, but it was definitely a nice return for Bryan Singer. Again, don't really care for all the off-screen deaths, and it kind of makes some plots from First Class kind of just end up petering out, so there's those flaws there. But looking past that, it's an interesting character study for Xavier, of all things. It's interesting to see an arc here and there, too. Again, I just have that minor problem that I'm wondering, wait, so how the heck did we get to the actual modern time when things were this terrible? But, again, at the end of the day, it's a good superhero movie. And it's actually not a bad time travel plot either. Yeah, again, a bit of plot contrivancy with how Kitty Pryde just now has these powers out of nowhere.
Also, I'm going to sound like a bit of a maverick, but I do think that one advantage this film has over Avengers Endgame is that this film doesn't over-explain the time travel, if you know what I mean.
I get what you mean. Although, it kind of under-explains it in my thing, but hey, what you gonna do? But yeah, this movie was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, coming back to it, it may not be as amazing as I remembered it to be, but it's still a very good time. Quicksilver is great, even though he doesn't get to be in much of it. And, yeah, God, I'm bringing up a lot of criticisms in my final thoughts of a movie I generally do like.
So you've never liked it then, Jover?
Yes, folks, I was just reenacting what a fanboy would say. Or fangirl.
Yes,
we appreciate that both genders are equals in that term.
Yeah, Jover secretly hates this movie.
No. I really like this movie. It's just, looking back at it, I noticed quite a few flaws here that, don't quite make it as great. Which is a shame, because generally I should like this better since it's a sequel over being just a prequel. It's kind of a little bit of everything when you get down to it.
Mm-hmm. So, you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was X-Men Days of Future Past.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See ya.
See ya.